Picture this. It's Tuesday night. You're sitting in your car in the driveway after another 14-hour day, and you can't bring yourself to walk inside yet because you know your partner is going to ask how the business is going. And you have no idea what to say. You worked on the website. You posted on 3 platforms. You had 4 client calls. You answered 67 emails. But when you check your bank account, it looks exactly the same as it did last month. That tiny choice you made this morning to check Instagram before starting your revenue-generating work just cost you your entire day. I'm Fred, and I've spent the last decade figuring out why some entrepreneurs break through while others stay stuck in that car. Here's the thing. The productivity advice you're following is designed to keep you busy, not make you free. Stay with me for 10 minutes, and I'll show you the math that changes everything. Because after this, you'll either fix your business or finally admit you're just playing entrepreneur. Modern small business culture has been hijacked by the hustle harder mentality that promises success through sheer volume of activity. Wake up at 4 a.m., post on 7 platforms, launch another product, never stop grinding. Why does this feel so right when it's so wrong? Here's what nobody tells you. You're being sold the lie of diversification. Multiple revenue streams equal security. Multiple products mean more opportunities. It feels smart. But mathematically, it's suicide. Spreading yourself thin doesn't just slow your growth, it prevents your business from ever reaching the level where real scaling becomes possible. The psychology here is brutal. Diversification feels productive. Your brain interprets all that activity as progress. You're in motion. But motion is not momentum. You can be incredibly busy and still be moving backward. Here's the thing. Social media creates intense FOMO in your brain. You're watching other entrepreneurs juggle multiple businesses and you think this is normal. But what you're seeing is a highlight reel, not a balance sheet. Most of those people are drowning. So why is the advice designed this way? Because busy people keep buying courses. Busy people keep consuming content about the next strategy. The moment you actually focus and start winning, you stop being a customer. The industry needs you confused and overwhelmed. And this isn't just about working harder or smarter. This is about whether your business survives the next 5 years. Most small businesses fail because you were operating under a broken model that made success mathematically impossible. What if the path to growth isn't addition, but subtraction? Let's destroy the diversification myth with brutal arithmetic. This is where your feelings stop mattering and math takes over. Energy concentration works like this. When you focus 100% of your resources on one objective, you create massive forward momentum. Divide that same energy across 9 projects. You get negligible progress on each one. Why? Run the math with me. You have 100 units of energy. Put all 100 into project A. You move it forward 50 units. Split that energy across 9 projects. Each one gets 11 units. And 11 units doesn't move the needle. You're treading water on 9 things instead of dominating one. Here's what makes this devastating. Linear progress in one direction compounds exponentially. Scattered effort compounds into nothing. When you improve at one thing consistently, those improvements stack. Your product gets refined. Your systems get tighter. That compounds. When you're splitting attention, you never stay anywhere long enough for compounding to kick in. The research calls this the multiple business trap, the most common marker of low-performing businesses. Managing multiple websites, funnels, or brands simultaneously fragments your focus. So what's the alternative? Product specialization. Operating with one core product for several years allows your business to reach higher profitability than competitors juggling multiple products. Several years, not months. Mastery requires repetition and refinement. You cannot master something if your attention constantly shifts. Expertise is built through thousands of micro-adjustments over time. Here's the timeline that changes everything. High-level growth requires staying focused on one core offering for many years before adding a second line of business. Many years. But here's the psychological warfare. Your brain interprets busyness across multiple projects as productivity, even when numbers prove you're moving backwards. Why? Because your brain rewards activity, not results. Time and energy are finite. Mathematics dictates that linear progress in one area is your fastest path to champion-level results. One thing, obsessively, until you dominate it. You're sabotaging your own business by confusing work with valuable work. You commit time robbery against yourself every single day. Here's the opportunity cost reality. Basic household tasks like cleaning, laundry, and lawn maintenance should be the first things removed from your plate to protect your energy. This isn't about luxury. This is about mathematical ROI. Why? Every hour you spend on a $15 per hour task is an hour stolen from $500 per hour work that only you can do. Think about what that actually means. When you mow your lawn, you just paid $485 for yard work. You didn't save money. You torched money. The 10K rule. Once your business consistently earns over $10,000 per month, spending time on tasks like cooking becomes inefficient use of your specialized skills. If you're past that number and still doing your own laundry, you're actively choosing to stay small. But here's the identity crisis keeping you stuck. You tie your self-worth to doing everything myself. You wear it like a badge of honor. This mindset is exactly what's capping your income. So what's the solution? Professionalize nutrition. Hiring help for meal preparation removes the daily mental drain of deciding what to eat, shopping, and cleaning up. But it's not just the time. It's the dozens of micro decisions that deplete your cognitive resources before you even start real work. Decision fatigue is real. By the time you've planned breakfast and cleaned up the kitchen, you've made hundreds of tiny decisions. Your brain's exhausted before you open your laptop. If hiring isn't feasible yet, the batching alternative, buying all groceries and cooking all weekly meals on a single day like Sunday, prevents daily decision fatigue. Systemizing health, outsourcing management of your fitness and nutrition to a coach eliminates the mental overhead. Here's what you're actually protecting. When you're planning meals and doing laundry, you're losing the creative headspace that generates breakthrough ideas. This is about respecting that your brain is your business's most valuable asset. You've built a technological prison that's destroying your ability to do deep, valuable work. And you call it staying connected. The research is brutal. The most effective strategy for high-level output is to lock the windows and close the doors, creating a physical environment with zero external distractions. Isolation for performance. Why does this matter? Because you've been sold the connectivity lie. Being always available equals being professional. But what it actually signals is desperation and lack of boundaries. When you respond to every email within 10 minutes, you're proving you have nothing more important to do. Notification. Zero is the protocol. Turn off all push notifications and keep communication devices in a separate room. Every notification is an attack on your attention, and attention is the one resource you cannot buy more of. Here's what's actually happening. Every app was designed by teams of PhDs to hijack your dopamine system and keep you scrolling instead of building. The attention economy is a war. You're losing because you're pretending these tools are neutral. The research uses strong language. Minimalist app usage means reducing your smartphone to just 4 or 5 essential apps to prevent the cancer of social media from draining productive hours. Cancer. That's the word in the research. Why such extreme language? Because that's what it does. It spreads, it consumes, and it kills your productivity. And research shows it takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction. Every notification is stealing half an hour of productive capacity. 10 interruptions a day? You just lost 5 hours of deep work. Non-reactive communication changes the game. Checking email once every 3 days prevents you from becoming reactive to other people's demands instead of proactive on your own priorities. Here's the thing. When you're reactive, other people are running your business. They decide what you work on, they set your priorities, they control your time. If you can't go 3 hours without checking your phone, you don't have a business. You have an expensive hobby. One small compromise triggers total collapse. And most entrepreneurs never recover. Consistent scheduling is the foundation. Maintaining an identical wake-up and sleep time 7 days a week. Variance creates chaos. When you wake up at 5 a.m. on weekdays and sleep until 9 a.m. on weekends, you're destroying your rhythm. Why does this matter so much? The sleep foundation principle. Sleep is the single most important factor for your productivity because it preserves the conscious mind, which acts as the police officer of your routine. Your conscious mind enforces your decisions. When you're sleep deprived, that police officer goes off duty, and without it, everything falls apart. Discipline isn't about motivation. Discipline is about eliminating the need for willpower through non-negotiable systems. If you're relying on motivation, you've already lost. Here's where it gets dangerous. The avalanche effect. Breaking even one small part of your daily routine leads to total collapse of business goals and health habits. You skip your morning workout once, then you sleep in. Then you skip planning. Within 2 weeks, everything you built over 6 months is gone. So what's the solution? Morning stacking. Completing high-impact tasks like training, meditation, and customer research before the standard workday starts allows you to outperform others significantly. While your competitors are scrolling social media, you've already completed work that will compound for years. Self-observation through data. Using metrics like sleep trackers provides objective feedback. Feelings lie, data doesn't. This monk-like protocol isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent enough that excellence becomes automatic. This level of discipline is the prerequisite for building something that outlasts you. When your business fails, it's not just you who suffers, it's your family, your employees, your community, and your future. A failing business devastates your family's stability. Your kids feel the stress. Your partner carries the weight of uncertainty. Your mental health collapses. This is real human suffering while you're pretending everything is fine. Entrepreneurs hustling their way to burnout hide their struggles. They can't admit it's not working, so they suffer in isolation. Depression sets in. Relationships fracture. Health crises emerge. Your employees caught in the crossfire lose their livelihoods, often without warning. They didn't make the strategic mistakes, and now they're scrambling. Small businesses are the backbone of local economies. When they fail due to poor productivity systems, entire neighborhoods lose essential services. For your kids, this creates generational trauma. Children of failed entrepreneurs internalize devastating messages about money and risk that haunt them for decades. Here's the cruelest part. Most of these failures are completely avoidable with the right systems. The research shows a clear path that most entrepreneurs never discover. The larger economic cost. Billions in potential value in job creation are lost annually because you're following productivity advice that's mathematically guaranteed to fail. Let's bring this home with the comparison that separates businesses that win from businesses that stay stuck. Focus. Standard businesses try many things to see what sticks. High-performance businesses obsess over one product and one niche. Schedule. Standard businesses take every day as it comes. High-performance businesses maintain strict monk-like daily protocols. Technology. Standard businesses stay constantly connected and reactive. High-performance businesses stay isolated. Phone in a drawer, no notifications. Personal life. Standard businesses have owners managing all domestic errands. High-performance businesses outsource or batch all personal tasks. The gap between these approaches isn't incremental, it's exponential. You don't get 10% better results by switching, you get 10 times the freedom. Here's your choice. Decide which category you're committed to operating in. You cannot blend these approaches. This research isn't offering you productivity tips. It's offering your future self a gift, the blueprint to build a business that creates freedom instead of a prison. Your business is a direct reflection of who you are as a person. The question is whether you're willing to become the type of person who actually implements these principles. That's the only thing standing between you and the freedom you say you want.